Hey everyone, welcome to the Short Game Long Talk Game of the Year Spectacular, aka the SGLTGOTYS. I'm very excited to be here. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. My name is Eric, and I am here with my co-host,
Jess.
And we are going to be ranking not the games that came out this year, but the games that we played in the last year on this show. There are 10 total games, and we're going to be breaking them down King of the Hill style to basically determine which one we thought was the best. Fair warning, we liked all these games, so it might be kind of like we're going to have one that's going to be like the definite yes, and then a bunch of ones that are probably interchangeable. But one of them's got to be 10. Yeah. Kind of just to go in retrospectively, Jess, what did you think of this first year of games that we played?
I mean, I liked all of them. They all have their own redeeming qualities. But I will say I did like certain ones more than others, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah, no spoilers.
But I'm honestly really grateful for the games that we had this year. Sorry, it's the season of being grateful. I'm gonna be cheesy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've always had like moments of being stressed throughout the year, and then I'd get a text from Eric saying, "Hey, this is a game we're gonna play. Start playing."
Yeah,
and then I'd have something to look forward to.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad I can be that for you. I thought you were going to say I'd be stressed, and then Eric would say, play this game, and I got more stressed because I have a deadline. But I'm glad I can be that for you. Yeah, it's been a fun thing to, starting off, we just played together in person and then recorded, and now we're evolving into being able to do this at a distance, which is always nice. And yeah, I think... before we get started, breaking it down from number 1, Inside, which is the first game we played, to the 10th game we played, which was Luigi's Mansion 3, which is our most recent game. I was going to read off some people, some fans, their choices. We got a handful of listeners' choices for their favorite games that we've played. Maybe it's their favorite episode. Maybe it's their favorite game. I don't think anybody specified. Because, maybe somebody just really likes the episode for the intermission, or maybe that's just their favorite game. So starting off real quick, our first response was from Derek, aka Good Games Casually, who said Luigi's Mansion 3 is his favorite with no explanation, but he was on the episode, so he's being a little biased. And then next up was Manny, friend of the show and family member, A Short Hike, which is definitely a great game. Very good choice. And then Jordan from Cognitive Clips said Journey, because it's the only game that he played of the 10. So that's his justification. Journey, a very good one to be the only one that you played. And then my wife and your cousin, Nina, said Journey and Ouija's. And then I discussed it with her. I was like, you got to pick one. And she said Journey because it's the only one she's beaten. So pretty good there. And then I very last minute posted on Instagram saying, what is your favorite game? And Grace, friend of the show, said that she will never forgive us for placing Luigi's Mansion 3 so low. And that was just a complete misunderstanding of the picture, because that's just the order. So I'm going to roast you right now, Grace, because I know you're working out right now listening to this, and you can maybe be angry at me or what, but that was just the placement of it because it's the 10th game we played.
I get what you were thinking though, Grace. Don't worry, I got you.
I understand, but you're wrong. So, and then we also got some threads, which is nice. Some thread answers. So Pinebox Games on thread said Goose Game. That was the very first response. I honestly, that was a dark horse. I was like, dang, somebody's favorite game on the list of 10 games that we played was Goose Game. And I'm like, all right, respect. Meng Tang on threads also said big fan of Journey and A Short Hike, but What Remains of Edith Finch would get their pick. And yes, all 3 very good games.
Very understandable.
Yeah. What Remains of Edith Finch is just, it's tough to like it. Like, do you have a favorite coming into this that you're like, I'm going to, like, if this isn't number 1, I'm going to defend the hell out of it kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I kind of do, but I have a couple that I'd be okay with number one as well. Let's see. Short Hike from New Speckled Egg Studios. That's two different, I believe, developing studios that we got responses from, which is very cool. Chose a Short Hike. I think I said that already. And then, wow, he gave a little context and said that he watched a video on it that said they made a Short Hike in 4 months, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's wild.
PSN Electric DC said definitely Edith Finch. And then your brother, Jared, also friend and family and fan of the show, said Goose Game. So 2 votes for Goose Game in that, which I'm like, all right.
I can tell you the one that he rated least.
Oh, okay.
Because he gave me the list verbally.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said it, in one ear, out the other, except for the last one.
Okay. Wait, he gave you his list in order? Yes. That's so funny. And you're just like, oh, okay. That's so
He rated FNAF the worst.
Okay. I mean, I think that's respectable, but we'll get there. Yeah, that was a lot. I like already I'm loving the listener interactivity of this episode already. And it's already kind of living up to my dreams. But yeah, that's our list. So just to recap, if you haven't been here, I mean, you can listen to this episode. I don't think we're going to get too in depth on any of these games besides when we get to the nitty gritty of like, no, I want this number one, kind of thing. The games we played are Inside, Untitled Goose Game, What Remains of Edith Finch, the Henry Stickman Collection, Journey, A Short Hike, OXENFREE, Limbo, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and Luigi's Mansion 3. So, without further ado, are you ready to start the debate with the easiest one ever? Because we're starting from number one, which is Inside. So it's automatically our number one game currently on the list. So, but to compare it to Untitled Goose Game, very quickly, the way this is going to work is, do we think Inside is better than Untitled Goose Game? What do we think?
I prefer Untitled Goose Game.
Okay. I am fine with that. I'm not going to argue. I think Inside is really good. I think it holds a very special place in our heart as the first game we played. Untitled Goose Game, however, was a game we played in front of a whole group of people, including Jared, which maybe is why he picked it. And that was a very fun experience. So I'm kind of linking Untitled Goose Game into that experience. So yeah, I'm fine with it beating Inside. So
yeah, and this is a completely this list is not actually based on how well the games are, in my opinion, because it is also I just contradicted myself, but this list doesn't define these games.
No,
just because a game is in our number 10 spot does not mean it's a horrible game.
Yeah.
They're all amazing games.
Yes, I
just have a better different synapses in my brain fire off when I hear Untitled Goose Game.
I get you. I'm going to already go ahead and move them all down, though, because Edith Finch is definitely better than both of those games.
Yes.
Without a doubt. That is going to be quite hard to beat, in my opinion. But Edith Finch, definitely one of the best.
No, that's my number one.
Okay, cool. Okay. That's your I want it number one kind of thing. Got it. Yeah, Edith Finch is definitely... there's a reason Edith Finch is one of the episodes I recommend to people, because it's a fun one. It's in depth. We can spoil the hell out of that, and it will never not be as good. And I can't wait to replay that game someday. Up next, this is where I think we're gonna have a little bit of discussion, because it's not an obvious this is number one. The Henry Stickman Collection. How are we feeling? Where we feel like we got 1 through 4 right now. Where do we think that's sitting?
You say it first.
I think it's number 4 of these 3.
Okay, good.
Okay. I like this game. It does not hold a candle to Inside, Untitled Goose Game, or definitely not Edith Finch. Those. Yeah, no. I love Henry Stickman. It was super fun. But it definitely is. It's not in contention with those 3.
If you remember the night we played it, I was not conscious for half the game.
Yeah, you did fall asleep pretty heavily. Okay. Here's another powerhouse right now with Journey. What are we thinking?
I'd put it at 2.
I would, yeah. So we're definitely gonna like revise the list when we're all done and like make sure. But yeah, definitely in the 1 and 2 range for Journey. That was incredible. We ended up playing that game twice by accident. That's how good it was. Okay, where do we think A Short Hike is gonna go?
I say above Untitled Goose Game.
Okay, so number 3, and we're gonna bump
everything else down 1.
This is my first time using Tier Maker, surprisingly. And I just figured it was the easiest way to organize all these. Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely up there. There's a reason that, you know, these games are so well received and why they got votes and all that. Let's see. Okay. Next up is OXENFREE. Where do we think this is?
Our first long distance one.
Yes, it was our first long distance one. Played it separately. Had our own personal experiences. It was honestly the perfect game for us to like play separately because it was short enough, but had some differences that we were like, hey, how was your experience? Like it was honestly the perfect game for us.
Yeah.
That being said, where do we think it's going to go?
I'm conflicted.
Because my first thought is either number 5 or number 4.
I was going to say 4, but I was like, I just bumped down Untitled Goose Game again.
I mean, hey, the list isn't final until it's final. But I think, man, see, this is where I'm already like looking at the list. This is why I wanted a visual. Because looking at Inside being below OXENFREE also feels like weird. Because Untitled Goose Game, definitely, I think we had a better time with that. But I'm like, Inside is also... but this is where it's going to become a problem. We'll get to it. But right now, I agree. Like, I think around like 4. It was really fun. I think we did talk about it kind of negatively in the episode, but like looking back, it was a very, very good game.
Yeah, I think also my negative emotions were surrounding the fact that it was my first semester, like my first 2 months in college.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like looking back at it, and I started playing through it again, I was like, this is a good game. I don't know why I ragged on it.
You're playing it again? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Do we have an intermission for this episode?
We can, if we want to take an intermission before the final decision.
Before the discourse.
Yeah, before the discourse, we can do an intermission because people love the intermission. Okay, I'm super down. All right, next up is Limbo. So, what's your initial thought where Limbo should go?
Against this list, it would take Henry Stickman's spot. I did not like Limbo. Okay,
so you want to move Henry Stickman to 8 and keep Limbo at 7? I'm cool with that. Yeah. Limbo is definitely the weaker of these two right here, and that's another thing, right? Like this list right now having Limbo and Inside right next to each other, but we're like. The whole time we talked about Limbo, we were like, Inside is so much better. Here we go, 1 spot. So this is very interesting. Okay, FNAF Security Breach. Now looking at this list, it's so hard to not just put it at like number 7. Like,
yeah.
I had so much fun playing Security Breach with you. It was such a fun, like 16 hours of just straight playing video games. But is it better than these other games? Is it better than Edith, Finch, Journey, Short Hike, OXENFREE? No. Untitled Goose Game? Maybe you can make an argument for that. Inside? No. Like this is where it's going to be very weird. So I do think I definitely had a better time playing Limbo or Security Breach than Limbo. So I am cool putting that there. And this is why we're going to reorganize the list, because I feel like Henry Stickman might be above Limbo and maybe even Security Breach. But we'll see when we're done. Now, Luigi's Mansion 3, our one and only Nintendo game on this first year. And I think our only I don't think Security Breach is considered a indie game anymore.
Not anymore.
But all these other games are all indie games. So where's Luigi's Mansion 3 going? Where do you think? Where's your initial thought?
I think it should go... I think it should bump down Security Breach.
I agree. I think that's exactly where I was. See, this is where I was saying there's not a lot of discourse here too much, but right now this is not the final list. You have to come back after the intermission to find the final list and have some discourse, because now looking at this and I have some problems.
Yeah.
But right now the list is number 10, the Henry Stickman collection, number 9, Limbo, number 8, Security Breach, number 7, Luigi's Mansion 3, number 6, Inside, number 5, Untitled Goose Game, number 4, OXENFREE, number 3, A Short Hike, number 2, Journey, and number 1, Edith Finch, or What Remains of Edith Finch. So we're going to be right back. We're going to have an intermission for a little bit, get some updates from Jess. I wasn't prepared for an intermission, so it's mostly going to be Jess, and then we'll be back for the final discourse about this. How funny that this episode is going to end up being probably our shortest one, not counting our very first episode 0, where we talked about, I don't remember.
It's a full circle. It's a full circle.
It is, and it's a nice chill, like you get rewarded with a nice little bonus at the end of the year for listening to all. We missed it by 1. We were 1 game off from having 11 in our first year, even though we technically have been doing this for a year and 2 months. But yeah, if we would have played 1 more game, we would have had 1 for each month of 2023. But that being said, we'll see you guys in a second. All right. Welcome to the intermission, some people's favorite part of this show. Jess, what do you got?
Okay, so quick backstory, because a lot of the times during intermission, I'm like, I don't really play too many games outside of this podcast because I have too much going on. November and the beginning of December, I had nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would just come back to my dorm after a class and be like, okay, that teacher didn't assign any homework.
Nice.
Nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I re-downloaded Steam because I had it on my old laptop, but I never re-downloaded it on my laptop now.
Don't you have a nice laptop too?
I used to. This is now like a more used for schoolwork type of deal.
Got it. Okay, so you used to have the pro gamer laptop.
With the light up keyboard.
Yeah.
And it came with these headphones that if I plug them into a USB, they light up. But now, in that old laptop, I had 3 USB ports. This one, I only have 1.
Oh.
So
wow.
when I'm recording with you, I have to choose between my mic or my mouse because my mouse is USB.
I'm going to buy you a hub.
I already asked my dad for one.
Okay, cool. Good. The other tech bro in your life.
Yep.
I'm not a tech bro. Please don't. No, that was a joke. I'm not a tech bro. Don't associate me with tech bros. So
I ended up downloading a shit ton of free indie games.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that's been taking up the main spotlight of my life for the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I started replaying OXENFREE, doing all the choices that I didn't do.
Okay.
Seeing how they negatively affect, because I always tried to do the good choices.
Mm-hmm.
That's going. It just feels like another playthrough.
Okay. Nothing crazy.
But
yet.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different games.
Oh.
That I've played so far. So the first one is my favorite to unwind after the day. It's called An Arcade Full of Cats.
Okay.
It's literally like a point and click, and you find all these cats that are hidden in doodles around arcades of different centuries. Not centuries. Not centuries. Oh my god.
Rooms,
what's it called?
Rooms, cities.
No. Decades.
You were close enough. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. That is.
It's really cute.
It looks very cute.
And it has really nice chill music.
Of course, better.
But it's my favorite just to if I'm talking with my roommate and I'm just pointing and clicking at all of these cats. It's very nice so I can multitask.
Okay.
A game that I beat, but I'm not really sure how it ended. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just ended abruptly, and I was like, "Oh, that's that's the game, was Emily is Away. It's a great game.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But because it's like I think it's a visual novel.
Kind of, yeah.
What's it called?
I think it has multiple endings too, so maybe that's what happened.
I looked at the community, and it was like, here are the different endings you can get.
That's a good one for the show.
The choices I made, yes, it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
The choices I made, it just ended very abruptly, and I was like, oh, okay.
I'm down to play that. I think that's on mobile. That'd be a fun experience.
If it's not free on mobile, if it's not on mobile, it's free on Steam.
Oh, okay.
And there's this really cool effect where basically the premises of the game is you're friends with this girl in high school, and you guys are like chatting on AOL.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I clicked like the message I wanted to send, I had to like type. I didn't have to type the words, but I just had to like click on my keyboard.
That's right.
And it made keyboard sounds, and I really liked that.
You like the ASMR?
Yeah.
That tickled
Completely
your ears?
honest, I did.
Yeah.
It did. But yeah, that one's a good game. I suggest it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's on the list. I mean, it's only a couple hours, right?
I got it done in like 2.
2? Okay. Yeah. I mean, if we want to start if you like that game, bro, there is some fucking wild, like parasocial style games like that you can like utilize your phone. Like you've probably seen Let's Plays, but the Simulacrum games are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Anything that utilizes your phone as a phone to play the game is like fourth dimension thinking to me. Like I'm like, yes. Why did it take this long for people to like? I mean, these games are years old now, but I'm like, why? Why did it take people so long to be like, yeah, this is it? Like, we're gonna make it a phone, like Lifeline. I think I've talked about where it's like I'm messaging a astronaut far away, and so I send a message, and it takes like the real amount of time that it would take to get to him.
Yeah.
And like that's so smart because I'm using my phone as a messaging app to talk to a astronaut that is stranded on a planet, and I'm the only one that can text him. And it's like stuff like that is awesome. So that's definitely, especially because you played it, and you can play it again with the different ending and stuff like that. Would be cool.
Yeah.
So that's one. That's 2 of 7.
Yeah, the next 2 I'm just gonna gloss over because they're just for shits and giggles games.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator and Goat Simulator.
I mean, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Simulator is just FNAF 6, so that's a full game if you play it.
Yeah, but I'm playing it very safely. I'm not taking any animatronics in, and I'm not taking any risk factors.
All right, nice and chill.
Yes, but even though I am not even. Oh my god, hold on. But even though I'm not like bringing any animatronics in or like the risk ones,
mm-hmm.
I'm. Like I tilt my monitor over to my roommate so that she can watch me as I'm terrified during the night, just because I'm like, what if something did get in? What if something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure nothing can kill you if you have no risk.
Yeah, I know that, but I still get scared.
It's pretty good. I mean, the sound design's pretty good in that game.
But yeah, and then. I played this game called Missed Messages. It literally takes like 30 minutes each run.
That sounds so familiar.
It's this like it's another visual novel. You're a girl in college, and like your roommate is a very quiet like she's very quiet, but you guys are really close friends. But there's also this girl who airdrops you messages, and you kind of have to balance between either of the two.
The art style is beautiful.
It's so pretty. And the music, the sound design, oh my God. I could do, like, if I replay this, I could do its own episode on it and just talk to a wall.
I mean, I'm down. That sounds, I love visual novels. Like, they're quite good. Let's see.
But if anyone does want to look into it, major trigger warning for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So just heed with caution, read its own description. I would read the description itself, but it is not up on my screen.
Yeah.
And it'll take a while for Steam to load up.
I'm looking at Emily is Away right now. So that came out in 2015. Emily is Away Heart is from 2021, made by the same person. It's a brand new story set on an old new social media. Customize your Facebook profile, send some friend requests, and determine the outcome of your senior year. That's $10. And then I knew this was a thing. Emily is Away 2, as in TOO. That's $5, and that came out in 2017. So
yeah, once I don't have $3.87 in my bank account, I want to buy another game.
Mm-hmm.
But currently, my bank account is 1 digit and 2 decimals.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, that is. I mean, yeah, don't bankrupt yourself. I would say what we could do. I'll look more into this Emily is Away Heart game because I've never heard of it before. But the other two, we could probably bundle that into one episode. Because they're probably pretty short, and I'd be very curious. Like those two were 2015 and 2017, and I'm sure they have quite a bit to do with each other. Whereas the new Emily is Away from 2021, I'm like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. But the other two I have. So that might be cool.
Yeah. I like the game. These last two are my favorite. Because one of them is another idle, like I can play it while I'm talking to my roommate.
Mm-hmm. And
the other one I literally like text my group chat that I'm having withdrawals from it because of how much I love the fucking game. So Plant Therapy, it's
oh my god, that's where you just put like shit all over a room, right?
You have an apartment in New York City and you just buy a shit ton of plants and the plants give you money to go buy more plants.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So I already have an apartment in Brooklyn and I have an apartment in Manhattan.
Just for plants.
Just for plants and pieces of artwork.
Hell yeah.
And it has chill music and you get to feed them and water them, and at night they glow and they sparkle and it's so amazing.
Yeah, I remember this was announced. It was announced for, or no, I don't think it was announced. I think I heard it on Into the Aether and I showed Nina because it's like a perfect idle game that you can just be doing while you're working on other stuff. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think Nina would like it.
I think so too. But now that you've recommended, she'll play it.
Yippee.
She's been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, which
I know. I've talked to her.
It's a good game. Okay, so what's the other one? Is this last one is the one that you're having withdrawals from?
Yes.
Okay.
Lethal Company is so good.
Okay, tell me about it. I know nothing about this game. I see it on thumbnails on my YouTube.
My friend has a channel where he puts all of our clips on.
Oh, nice.
But
do you want to shout it out or is it private?
It's not private, but it's just he just kind of keyboard smashed his username.
Okay.
So it's like
Got it.
But maybe I'll make a TikTok of one of my favorite clips and you guys can see it.
Yeah.
But practically you work for this corporation and they send you to different planets to get scrap metal for money.
Mm-hmm.
And on these planets, their hazard levels go from safe to like B, C, D, and then like very. I've never gotten past hazard level D because we keep dying, and dying takes away your money. And some of the harder planets cost money to get to, so we just kind of stay on B, C, and D planets. But on the hazardous planets, there are monsters that while you're trying to collect sheet metal for your quota, they'll attack you and you'll die. And it's very scary, but it's very fun, especially with my group of friends. I say group of friends, it's me, my roommate, and then our friend Dyson.
Nice.
And then one time, my roommate's boyfriend.
I mean, I'll watch some YouTube videos on it and see if it's something that I'm interested in. I've heard it's hilarious. So
it's so funny.
If you don't mind a fucking like millennial playing with you, I'll join you. I know you wouldn't. Of course you fucking wouldn't. I would hope not. Are you kidding me? You'd be like, no, I don't want to play games with you. We did it 10 times. Okay. So wait, tell me about the withdrawals though. Like what do you mean? Like right now you want to be playing Lethal Company? Is that the thing?
Yes.
Okay. That's so funny.
Like, like when I was still going to classes, because I'm on winter break now, I would just be sitting in class and I'd be like, man, can't wait to get back to the dorm and play Lethal Company.
That's so funny.
Man, I hope my friends want to play Lethal Company with me today. Like, or like just I wake up and I'm like, I want to play Lethal Company right now. But my friends aren't awake, so I can't. I mean, I can, but I don't want to join random servers.
Yeah. I mean, right. That's the problem is wanting to play. Like that's why I recently did a podcast with Derek on his channel and talked about like Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter is a game that will exponentially be better if you play it multiplayer. That's like without a doubt. But the game is completely playable and almost just as fun single player. And that is the key for me to invest time into a multiplayer, a mainly multiplayer game. Is like, can I actually play by myself without hooking up with random people? Because I still got that social anxiety. Don't want to do the randos, but that's cool. I watched like the trailer for it in silence. And I heard it's like phasmophobia in space, basically.
Yeah, practically.
Yeah, I mean that sounds cooler than phasmophobia in my opinion, because ghosts and paranormal shit freak me out. Monsters, on the other hand, love them. Great stuff. So
there's monsters, insects, and a blob.
Sounds great to me.
There's my favorite. My favorite hostile creature are these birds. They land behind you, and the only way to get away from them safely is if you scream back at them.
Oh, like because it picks up your mic?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So, because it's what's it called?
It's oh my god, what is that called? Proximity.
Like when you're close. Yes, proximity chat. So the bird is like by you, and you just have to like look over at it, and then just or like just start saying something at the bird, and it'll leave you alone. But if you don't say anything, or if you're a little too loud, then it'll come get you.
A little too loud. So there's a balance. Yes. I like that. I'll just tell it to go fuck itself. See if that worked. Well, nice. Literally, I came into this intermission saying like, oh yeah, I don't have anything to talk about. And then like as you were talking, I like glanced over to my right and I was like, oh yeah, I bought an Xbox. Like 2 days, like a week after we recorded Luigi's Mansion, I bought an Xbox. Or I had just bought an Xbox or something. I have an Xbox Series X now with Game Pass and all that, and that's been a journey. No pun intended. But that's a PlayStation exclusive. So but that has been a lot of fun. I haven't had the most time to play it, which is sad, but I've been playing Doom 2016, which has been fucking sick. That's been a lot of fun. That's been mindless as hell, and just been able to jump in and jump out and shoot demons on Mars, which is great. And I don't think, since our last episode, I did the Game of the Year episode on Good Games Casually, which was, I showed up and made it a 3-hour episode, which actually is pretty good because there was 5 people on that episode and we only it was only 3 hours. Like we kept it under like going over like a crazy amount. So you guys should go check that out. But yeah, the Xbox Series X, it's been great. I'm excited to play Baldur's Gate 3 that just got released on Xbox at the Game Awards, and yeah, not much else. I've just been playing Doom. I'm like about to be off of work for a week and spend some time in California, and then half of my time off in Arizona. So I'm excited to kind of like just dig in and play Baldur's Gate 3 because I am on a very strict timeline because come February 3rd, I think, the new Persona, or not the new Persona, but Persona 3 remake comes out. And yeah, that's top priority for me. That's going to be, get ready for those intermissions for about 2 to 3 months to just be me talking about Persona 3 most likely. But yeah.
This might be part of the bonus. I don't know. Or we could put this in as intermission. Speaking of Persona, there was at one point you sent me like a picture of Futaba. And it was something like, dude, you'd looked so much like her, just change your hair a little bit and boom. And my roommate saw it over my shoulder and was like, is he comparing you to Futaba? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean you see it? And she was like, stays in her room all day, only leaves the room for her like close friends, is a nerd, is childish. And I was like, now you're just being mean.
Yeah, I saw it more as I don't want to give too many spoilers, but like when you play, because I'm going to force you to play that game someday. When you play that game as the main character, you are the main reason why Futaba like breaks out of her shell. And I don't know if it's Futaba or Futaba. I've always just said Futaba.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's Futaba now that I'm thinking about it, because there's voice acting in that game. So I don't know why I would say it wrong now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, she's a hermit that like basically that's literally her tarot card is the hermit. And yeah, she just kind of breaks out of her shell, and there's a lot of similarities to her and you. So I think when you do finally meet this character in game, when you play it, you'll be like, fuck. All right. Yeah. Got me. And her, nope, that's a spoiler. I'm not going to say it. Never mind. I was about to say something, but that was a big spoiler. Good. I'm glad I caught myself. But yeah, she's a great character. She's one of my favorites for sure. The other thing I'm doing, which will be fun, starting this Saturday, I'm going to be in a fantasy gaming draft that I've never done before. Ellery from the Discord reached out and said like, hey, who wants to do this? Which, if you don't know what it is, it's basically we draft games that are going to come out in 2024, and where you each pick 7 or 8 games, and whichever ones perform the best based off of like a conglomerate of reviews around the internet, we get points. So I'm like going to pick like which games I think are going to be good and stuff that are going to come out in 2024. Problem is, there's not a lot of games that are fully announced for 2024 yet. So it's going to be like the first 3 rounds will be like filled because there's 6 of us. So it'll be really easy. And then the last like 75% of the draft is going to be like, I don't know what this game is, but I'm going to take a shot kind of thing. But that'll be fun to keep everybody updated on that as time goes on. I'm a little salty because I'm picking last, but it's all random, so it's fine. But Derek is picking first, so I think there's some shenanigans afoot. But yeah, I'm not going to discuss my picks because I don't want to give any inside information yet. And somebody could snake don't want to have anybody snake my snipe my picks since I'm picking last. I'm hoping that it's a snake draft, though. I forget if it is or not, which would mean I pick last and then first in the second round, which can be very useful. But yeah, that'll be fun. Any other things? So that was like the heftiest gaming update we've gotten from you ever. That was great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's it for me.
I mean,
next year, don't expect this next semester because this semester I took 14 credit hours. Next semester I'm taking 17 with a foreign language. So maybe my intermissions will be like, I learned a new French word today.
Yeah. So there might be some guest hosts while Jess hunkers down and doesn't leave her dorm if needed. That is an option for you, by the way, if you need to.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're like, I can't. Just can't.
Also, speaking of guest hosts, there are people in my pocket that are like, if you guys want a guest, I have opinions on games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they can come on, like, if they have an idea, too, for an episode. Like, we're going to be collaborating with, I'm not going to reveal who it is, but we're going to be collaborating with somebody in the next, like, month. And it's not going to be a game. It's going to be talking about a topic because it's an interesting topic for us. And if your friends want to do that, or anybody like that wants to be on the podcast and discuss something, awesome. If they want to bring a game, we kind of try to fit the games into a vibe. Like try to pick it around the right time of year. Like Edith Finch, really good winter game. Not going to lie.
Very good winter game.
That stuff is really good. So, cause I think, Chris, the Nerdlies, he reached out and wanted to play, I think he wants to do, Sucker for Love, with us.
Oh,
which is probably going to be our February game since we missed it last year. So that would be fun. But, whenever we have people that want to play games, there's people that want to come on as guests. That's totally fine. All they got to do is approach us,
Promise we're not scary.
No, not usually.
Except Eric, he's like a gigantic person.
I mean, I'm going to be sitting down, so it's not that big of a deal.
He's scary.
I'm not scary. You wouldn't do this podcast.
Trust him.
Don't listen to him. It's all a myth. It's all a myth.
He's a scary 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3". Some depends on what shoes I'm wearing.
6'2" bearded man. He's scary.
Yeah, with tattoos and a deep voice that people love. I mean, you guys are here. You're listening right now, so it makes sense. But that being said, do you want to get back into the riffraff of figuring out the final order of our 10 games?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go right into that. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Good. So, looking at our list, just to recap, from 10 to 1, we have Henry Stickman, Limbo, Security Breach, Luigi's Mansion, Inside, Untitled Goose Game, Oxenfree, A Short Hike, Journey, and What Remains of Edith Finch. Looking at this list, what are some things that stick out to you? That
Inside needs to go in Oxenfree's place.
Okay. Do we want to fully switch, or do we want to bump Untitled Goose Game down to 6 and have Oxenfree at 5?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Bumping it down.
I'm cool with that. Okay. That definitely feels way better looking at that already. Yeah. Inside being that low felt weird. I feel bad for Henry Stickman, just like chilling. He just got put in and just started dropping now down to the 10 spot. But I'm trying to think, like,
in my personal opinion, and this is not to roast Henry Stickman,
mm-hmm.
It was a game that was made in the era it was made in,
mm-hmm.
and it should have been played in the era that it was made in.
Yeah, that's true. But the ending one, the last chapter of Henry Stickman was made in like 2020. So that is newer. But yeah, it just doesn't hold up to these games. I'm trying to think. My other one that I'm kind of looking at is Luigi's Mansion versus Oxenfree. But I feel like those are like fully interchangeable. Like the feelings I have about those games. Now that Oxenfree is right next to Luigi's Mansion, I'm like, is it better? Do we give it to Grace and like give it a 6, or do we leave it at 7 and just bother her? That's basically what I'm thinking about right now.
In my opinion, I love Untitled Goose Game, and my whole bias with it was we were in Flagstaff when we played it. The vibes were just all amazing. Like the reason I ranked it so high was because I was like, oh my God, that was so fun playing it because all my family was there. I wouldn't mind putting Oxenfree where Untitled Goose Game is, and then putting Untitled Goose Game at 7.
Oh, okay. So we're going to move Luigi's up to 6, Oxenfree to 5, and Untitled Goose Game to 7.
That's in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Because Untitled Goose Game, albeit is very fun.
Yeah.
Very like chaotic.
Yeah.
And I have I have amazing memories with it.
Mm-hmm.
But against Luigi's Mansion and Oxenfree, it's just like if I were to look at it from a gaming perspective, I'd put it lower.
So, Jess, I just want you. Do you notice? Do you notice how these games are ordered?
By the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No. there's a pattern. It's not really a pattern. It's just like a thing I just noticed based off of how we
Colors.
just moved it. No, not the colors.
But look at the colors too.
I know, but the colors are. Actually, yeah. Damn, that's pretty good. Besides Edith Finch and Stickman, that's pretty damn good, actually. When we're done, this will be posted somewhere. Like when this episode goes live, it'll go with the tier list.
Post.
The top 5 are all the games I picked this year. And then the bottom 4, because Luigi's Mansion was just a guest pick. So
yeah, bottom 4 were my pick.
That's where I'm like, we got to get one of yours into the top 5. And I'm like, which one? Because I think the one I had the most fun with of those 4 is Security Breach, but I cannot justify putting it higher than where it's at.
We don't got to put one. Mine were all chosen out of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yours are chosen logistically.
You chose Limbo out of comedy? What?
I chose it because I got it for a cent.
That's right. That one was just a justification.
I got it and I was like, this is on the list. If it's not, it is now.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, I got this for a cent. You want to play it?
And OXENFREE was kind of a mutual one. I will 100% claim Journey, Inside, Edith Finch, and A Short Hike, because I don't think maybe you'd heard of A Short Hike, but I don't know if like those.
I heard of Edith Finch.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. So Journey was really the only game you'd never heard of on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll just claim Journey as my big pick, but that's like one of the best games of all time. So, okay. I just wanted to point that out. I was like, okay, Untitled Goose Game's hanging in there. And then we kept bumping it down and I was like, oh no.
I was not even paying attention to my picks.
I wasn't either except I just like was looking at like the top 3 and I was like, Edith Finch, Journey, A Short Hike. I was like, yeah, those games are great. So to review right now where we're at, we got Henry Stickman, Limbo, Security Breach, Goose Game, Luigi's Mansion 3, just outside of the top 5. I'm just saying for the people out there, because we got a lot of haters about not having like Luigi's Mansion 3 as high as we wanted it to be, or as they want it to be. And then we got OXENFREE, Inside, A Short Hike, Journey, and Edith Finch. I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah. I have this should be higher. This should be lower. I think they all have a good standing.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason, because I know that people are like FNAF fans, the reason FNAF is so low on in my brain is because of the glitches that we had. Dude.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It sucked.
That did suck.
And like, I love watching the playthroughs, but playing it ourselves, it was like a big turnoff for the game for me.
It also was a tough one where it was like, we were on a time crunch. Like we only had so much time. Like if we played this over a week in 5 different sittings, it probably would have been fine. And we only had the one glitch in Ruin, which was obviously game breaking, but it worked out. I don't think I would want to play that game by myself. It was fun playing it with you because it was just, it became a meme, basically playing it. Like that would have, if I had live stream capabilities, that's what we would have done. Like it would have been like, all right, guys, 12-hour live stream, let's go. But yeah, definitely. Also, I think FNAF fans know the issues with Security Breach. If it was just Ruin, I'd probably put Ruin higher. I think I might put it like in the Luigi's Mansion Untitled Goose Game, but as a whole and with the glitches, it's sitting at 8 is pretty fine. The only thing is I'm like, Journey and Edith Finch are just juggernauts. Like they're both so good and it's so hard to just be like definitive, like Edith Finch is number 1. And I'm like, but it is. But I'm also like, think of the moments in Journey, the way I felt playing it kind of thing, that I'm like, that's the only debate right now for me is those two.
I actually just sprouted another debate in my head.
Okay, give it to me.
Limbo and Henry Stickman.
Oh, you want to move Limbo to the bottom?
I detest Limbo.
Okay, that's enough for me. I don't have any feeling about that, and that pulls Henry Stickman out of the bottom, making
as much as I was snoozing through Henry Stickman and my very charged words earlier about how Henry Stickman should have been played back when it was made.
Yeah.
It did have funny, like, I'm thinking back to the episode, and in the episode, we talked about all of the callbacks it made to other video games and the funny one-liners. It's great comedy.
Yeah.
Like, if I was in a tech class if I was an 8th grader right now in my tech class, I'd play Henry Stickman.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm cool with that.
And Limbo sucks.
Yeah, I definitely think Limbo was the least, and you know, we talked about it in the episode. Like, you can feel the bones that would then become Inside, which is a great game. But yeah, and I can imagine playing Limbo when it came out in like 2010 or 2011 and like being like, holy shit, this is like nothing I've ever played. But
Limbo is like a crying baby. Like, in the moment, you hate it. But you know that baby is going to grow up and be like, it's like you meeting me in 6th grade. I was annoying back then.
Yeah.
But you were like, you're cool enough. You're probably going to grow and be a better person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. So you were Limbo and now you're Inside. I don't know what that says about your psyche, but that's a comparison for sure. Yeah, I definitely can't, like I said, because I'm gonna do one thing, because it was our first guest episode and we've gotten some flack. I'm gonna move Luigi's Mansion into the top 5 and move OXENFREE to number 6 because it was our first. I'm
fine with that.
Me too. I don't have any different feeling between OXENFREE and Luigi's Mansion, because you know what? In both games, I complained about the controls. In OXENFREE, I was like, why are we so slow? And then in Luigi's Mansion, there's a very recent episode you can go listen to. So there you go. All the Ouija heads out there. You can get off my back. It's in the top 5. Journey. I think because Edith Finch, I think I'm just going to have to leave Edith Finch there because it's my favorite episode still that we've ever recorded.
And it's our longest.
It's definitely our longest. Right? Yeah. It's 2.5 hours, I think. And it was like, I remember playing that game and like, we were just like, what the fuck? Like the whole time. And then we both stayed up that night watching like separately watching like theory videos, reading theory threads, and then coming the next morning like, all right, I'm so charged right now to talk about this thing. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. So Journey made me feel good and will always make me feel good and is like an exceptional video game. But yeah, I think Edith Finch is definitely number 1. Journey is definitely number 2. Are we for sure with A Short Hike and Inside?
There's a little special place in my heart for Inside because it was like, I don't know. It was just such an amazing game, but also Short Hike. Like, I want to go back and replay it. Inside, I don't really want to go back and replay it. Yeah,
I feel that. Short Hike is very cute, very charming. It was a nice experience, to say the least. Yeah. And think about that shell kid who made you collect shells and didn't give you a reward.
And
all the hats you get to wear. Yeah, Short Hike staying at 3. That game's too good. Okay, I think I'm good. Do you have anything that's standing out to you?
No, I like the way that this tier list looks.
Me too. Okay, so to recap, the final secured list for the short game, long talk, game of the year spectacular is number 10, Limbo. Number 9, the Henry Stickman collection. Number 8, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Number 7, Untitled Goose Game by House. It's in the thumbnail, so I had to say it. Number 6, OXENFREE. Number 5, Luigi's Mansion 3. Number 4, Playdead's Inside. Number 3, A Short Hike. Number 2, Journey. Number 1, the best game we played in our first year, and that will move on to our eventual like battle of game of the year, is What Remains of Edith Finch. which I'm very comfortable with that.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. So we both came in, we're like, Edith Finch is number one, like, which is fun. Makes it a lot simpler. Maybe next year we'll make our own lists and come with it and see where we go from there. But I think that this is a very good list. I'm going to download it right now so I don't forget. There we go. Cool. And yeah, in the future, what I want to do next year, because this is going to go on forever. As long as I have the ability to record and play video games, I'm going to keep doing this podcast. I want there to be a champion battle next year. So whatever wins the 2024 SGLTGOTYS of 2024 is going to see, we're going to find out if What Remains of Edith Finch is better than that game. Or if
we could also do the top threes so that it's not just 1v1.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And then for like our 10-year anniversary or some shit, we can do, if we make it that far, we can do the battles of the ones. That would be fun. But yeah, that would be good. Top 3, top 5, something like that. For
a joke episode, we can do the number 10s battle it out.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? That'd be so fun. That can be the episode right before. Shit. Who's the king of Shit Mountain? One of my favorite phrases of all time. I'm the king of Shit Mountain. Yeah, Limbo would be hard to beat. Which would be crazy. Can you imagine if we go like 5 years from now and we compare all of the worst games from each year and Limbo ends up winning this like critically acclaimed masterpiece of a game, and we're like, yeah, no, it's the worst. Oh, that's so funny. I've never thought of it. Oh man. I really like this list. This was a lot of fun. This was exactly what I wanted it to be. Maybe next year we'll have some guests on to talk about if I can coordinate that more, we can have people talk about their favorite games of ours that we played. Yeah, I did get some suggestions for next year.
Right.
And so be on the lookout.
Can I talk about mine?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
You should probably finish what you were saying.
Oh, no. I was just going to go into the suggestions for be on the lookout for next year. So, I mean, if you've got suggestions, go right ahead.
I've got the one from my roommate.
Okay.
Because I was browsing Steam one night and I was like, what should I get? Because I was browsing the free to play. Mm-hmm. And then I got to the game and I was like, I turned jokingly because my roommate loves Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. I said the game.
People know the game by now. It's an only free-to-play Sonic game on Steam.
Anyway, but I was like, should I download it? And she was like, you should play it for your podcast. That would be a funny episode.
Yeah.
So in January, we're gonna... Right? January?
Mm-hmm.
January, we're playing The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
My number 5 game of 2023, by the way. That was my number 5 game.
I'm going to be completely honest. I never got through the entire episode.
It's pretty long. I don't blame you, but I am going to spoil that. It is my number 5 game and it's fucking awesome. I remember I played it on April 1st when it came out. I was like, excuse me, what? What is this? It's a full game and it's a visual novel with Sonic characters and new art and a story. And I was like, sign me up. 2.5 hours later, I was done and I was like, that was great. So I'm definitely excited to replay that and see what you think, because I think you'll really, really enjoy it. And maybe you can play it with M and get some comments from them as well. That'd be fun. But yeah, that's a free game. So if anybody wants to play it, it's free. It's on Steam. Full on game. But let's see. Are you ready for suggestions, other suggestions, or do you have more?
No, that's all I have.
That's the one. Hey, it's a big one. It's going to be our first game of the year. That'll be fun to see where that lands for the 2024 list. But we got some, I went into the worst garbage.online Discord, which is where the Into the Aether boys are and stuff. We got some suggestions. I talked about the games that we played, and people suggested that we play a Little Gator game, which is one of my number one games that I want to play. And I wish I didn't know it came out this year, or else I would have prioritized it for the Game of the Year episode. Little Gator game is basically a Breath of the Wild game on an island where you play as a little gator, and the graphics are very much a Short Hike-esque. So
we're playing it.
Yes, we're definitely going to play it. And I'm pretty sure it's on the Switch, so it's like the perfect game for that. And that was from not your Jared, but another Jared on the TWG Discord. So thank you for that, Jared. Couple other ones that we got from Moses Pippi on this is all from the same Discord channel. So they recommend off the top of their head, Where Is My Heart, Every Day the Same Dream, and Don't Look Back. Those are all different games that I've never heard of, haven't looked into them, but I will, I promise, because games like that usually end up being wild and I like them.
Yeah.
Matt suggested Venba, which came out this year and is on Game Pass. It's a game about cooking and journeys, an immigrant's journey and stuff like that. I've heard it's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm very excited to play that with Nina. So maybe that can be the episode she finally joins the pod. We already tried to bait her onto it with Luigi's Mansion 3, and that didn't work. So maybe this one will be it. AJ, the editor from Into the Aether, and also he's on a podcast called Frog of the Week. It's a good show. Cocoon, which was made by, I believe, the creative designer from Inside and Limbo. So that's also on Game Pass, and I've heard it's very, very good. A little heady, because it's just a puzzle game where you're a little bug thing, and you can push around these little spheres, and you can also go into the spheres, and inside of the spheres you get small so that it's a whole other level, and you can solve puzzles within the spheres to unlock things outside of the spheres, and it's pretty crazy. So maybe that'll be one that we do when we have more free time.
Yeah.
And let's see. Chase Allheart suggested, and I quote, said, "I am here to once again spread my propaganda for the frog for whom the bell tolls." And I think that means that's a frog detective game, maybe?
I will look it up right now.
Please.
Oh, just got flashbanged by my Chrome. What's it called?
The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls.
This is so cute.
Let me see. I got to look it up now.
Hold on. I can share my screen.
Oh, yeah. Let me stop sharing mine. Oh, what the heck?
This is so cute.
The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls. What the heck? That's like that's in fully Japanese. I don't know how we'll do that, but
we'll find
a way. Yeah. That seems, so it's like a Legend of Zelda style game based on some of those thumbnails. All right, cool. I thought it was a frog detective game, which is another game on our list, and that's on Game Pass. We jokingly, long time ago, brought up Frog Detective on this show, and then I was told by Chris that it's an amazing series of games, so we're going to probably do that. Maybe with Chris, if he wants. Let's see. And I think that's it for the suggestions, but there's a lot of short games, and there's only 12 months in the year. If we start pumping out two a month, that would be crazy, but I don't think so. I think as long as we stick around 10 a year, I think we'll be good.
I think we could start doubling them up during my summer break.
That's true. We could also do, we can just play games, right? Like if I want to play Little Gator Game, I can just play Little Gator Game, and then when you finish it, then we can do an episode, and I could have 5 games done. And then whenever you're ready to do it, we do it. We can figure it all out. Whatever, because you're going to come, I can play consistently, and you're going to come in waves where you can play like a bunch, and then you can't play at all. But yeah, that was fun. We did end up making it over an hour, so it's not just a little bite-sized, which is good. But yeah, this was
bad.
I don't know.
You got a lot of shit to edit now.
Oh no, nothing.
Not a lot.
That's not too bad. Yeah, that'll be nothing. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Some quick plugs. Go check out the Game of the Year episode on Good Games Casually. Also watch his new bonus show, which I'm co-host, not co-host on. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, hey, do you want to do this? And he's like, yep. And I was like, cool, put it on your channel, because mine has this weird niche thing that we do over here that I'm like, we can't just chat about games. We got to play short ones. That's Good Games Chatting, but it's all on the Good Games Casually website. And then the other one is I hosted for him while he was sick. So that was fun. I talked about getting started as a content creator and not focusing on, being the best right away and everything. So if you want to listen to that, we've been here a year now. Jess has been content creating with me for a year now. We're not the best, but we're getting there.
But we're getting there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You got any plugs, Jess? Anything you want to?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. You want to hit us with the socials?
We are only active on Threads and Instagram. And that's @shortlongpod. From there, there's our link tree, and that connects you to our Discord group, LFG, the Leveling Friends group, and you can chat with us directly there if you're wanting to. I would say if you want to have like quick responses to text us in Discord, because I don't know about Eric, I don't check the messages on Instagram as much as I probably should.
I check all the time. Okay. I definitely, I'm probably better on Instagram than Discord, if I'm gonna be honest, but I will find you on Discord if you reach out to me. Just tag me, I'll find you. But yeah, definitely check out our Discord. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of different stuff going on there overall. Yeah, I think this was a good episode. I was excited to do it. I'm glad it lived up to my expectations, and I'm excited to see where we go next. But yeah, well, there's a lot of short games out there, and we'll have plenty more to talk about in the future, and maybe start pumping out more between the games as well, where we discuss. I think we'll probably have a double. Hopefully, the goal is to have a double episode next month with Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog and a to be determined. Not to be determined. I know exactly what it is. Jess knows exactly what it is, but I don't want to reveal it yet.
To be announced.
Yeah. But I will give the hint that it has something to do with Pokemon. I found a way to get Pokemon onto this show, and I'm so excited to do it. But yeah, more on that later. It'll probably be the first episode of January, I would imagine. But yeah, anything you would like to say as we close out?
I'm kind of blanking.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this little experiment that we did, something that we've been working on for the whole year technically, and let us know what you think of our list. And one big thing that we always got to say is to please review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, share your stuff around, and with that, don't forget to kidnap your friends.
Happy holidays, guys.
All right. Are you ready?
Aye, Captain. Oh my God. I need to watch SpongeBob now.
That was a big ADHD moment right there.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're real good. Like, you're fine. Like, I totally get it. I feel like I say, are you ready a lot? And that's the first time you've said that.
That was the first time I said, aye, Captain.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
SpongeBob.